welcome back to the Flix Capacitor podcast, hosted by two Cinebros, cinephiles, male men, and we
Mailmen.
are mailmen, and we met on TikTok. Believe it or not,
Yep.
if you're new here,
These two postal workers met on TikTok.
yeah, and if you don't know that, you do now. If you probably do. I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay. What do we do on this podcast, Broen?
Well, for starters, my name is
Theme song. That's when the theme song's gonna start. Oh yeah, we should
Anyways,
introduce ourselves. Yeah.
anyways, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, my name is Broen
That
McCloskey.
epic theme song was
Epic
interrupted.
theme song.
Sorry.
I bet whoever made that theme song has a massive dong.
I bet you he doesn't.
It's like, oh no, I'm telling you right now, he doesn't.
I'd win that bet. Let me tell you.
My name is Broen McCloskey, and today we and what do we do on this podcast? We talk movies. We talk the culture, the impact of movies. We deep dive them. We do top 10, which today's a top 10 list, but we just talk about our favorite things. We talk what we love most about movies and how movies have impacted us.
My name is Parker McNerney, and I do the same thing that Broen just said with Broen at the same time.
But better.
But better. I'm better than you, bruv. Is it a bit cold, love? All right. Anyway, we're gonna start out today. We did this a few times, and then we forgot, like we do everything. We have some non-movie related questions for you to get to know us better, and for us to get to know each other better. Now, who should go first, Broen?
You seem pretty excited about your question, so do you want to go second?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just very interested to see what you're gonna say. But yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Parker, if tomorrow you woke up with $1 million in your bank account, and you had to spend it that day,
all of it in one day,
all of it, what would you do?
Okay.
Like what? Like just like a quick breakdown. Like, would you go to Disneyland 4 times? Would you?
Oh man, I would probably book a few trips, for sure. I would. Luckily, I don't have any debt as of now.
Must be nice.
Yeah. I would probably buy all the stuff that I want to buy, like all the stuff that's in my Amazon cart, which I have over 600 things in my Amazon cart.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I just go on Amazon like it's social media, I'm like, oh, cool. This Yoda shirt's cool or whatever.
I literally have nothing on my Amazon cart.
Well, I have it's all like in the save for later, but
Sure.
Same thing.
Sure.
I do all that shit. I buy the Blu-rays and stuff that I want to get. I'd probably upgrade, my turntable, just like upgrade all my stuff that I have.
Would you get a car?
My car works okay. But I mean, fuck it. Why not? Why not get a new car?
What would you get?
I am not a car person. I don't give a fuck. I'd probably get like a Nissan Rogue or something. I don't care.
I'm not too much of a car guy too, but I know exactly what I would get.
What would you get?
Well, there's a couple options. I would for convenience, like realistically, I would love a truck. I would love a good Tacoma, a Toyota Tacoma, because that's the thing about Toyotas, that as long as you just keep up on them, they're never gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
Like there are people with 90s Tundras and Tacomas. I mean, look how many Corollas from the 90s are out and about, and they're still working perfectly fine.
Yeah. Zoomies did a collab, or Huff, I think, did a collab, and like we sell it at Zoomies with Tacomas and stuff on it. It's like TRD, so we call it like the turd stuff.
That's funny. I would love a Tacoma, but then for like a project car, because I don't know about cars, but I would love to get this as a project car so I could learn. I would love to get like a late 60s Camaro, like 67 to 69, that window.
Very cool.
Love to get a Camaro.
I'd probably buy a few cars, like just like one or two, just for convenience, just because that's what I use my car for. I don't care for other shit. I'd probably get like a van. I think minivans are cool. Not cool, but like I'd probably get a minivan.
Convenient.
Yeah,
because they're pretty good on gas, and
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like I said, I book a few trips. I would probably, I'd probably buy a movie theater. That'd be super super cool.
Like,
Um,
what do you-
like buy a theater to do my own screenings and stuff. Um,
for $1 million, what do you mean buy a theater? Like rent it out, or
like buy a movie theater and like fix it up and like make it my own.
that's actually crazy because in my hometown we have an old beat up theater on like the main road of
Yeah,
downtown, and
yeah.
the owner is old, stubborn, wants nothing, and it's the theater is shut down, abandoned. You can look inside and it's completely empty and dusty and gross, and he like refuses to do anything with it, refuses to sell it. And I'm like, if this guy restored this theater and didn't play new movies, because there's a theater right across the street that plays the new movies, but if he played old movies, or like literally like took it, which I mean he's older, so maybe just put it in the hands of someone else,
Mm-hmm.
but like took that business to social media and like, hey, vote for what movie we're going to play this week, or this weekend is the anniversary of this horror movie, so, or like it's Halloween, we're going to watch a horror movie.
Speaking of, today is the 70th anniversary of The Creature from the Black Lagoon. So
No
it's
shit.
funny that you say that.
No shit. Is
Yeah,
it really?
it is. It
That's a
is.
great movie.
Yeah, so I'd probably buy a theater that might also be like a media store as well,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
do both. You could do live music there, and then I'd probably buy a house. You know what I mean? Buy a
Oh, of
house
course.
and just I might not even live there right now. Just fucking have it when I need it, wherever.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what I do with $1 million. I don't
Cool.
know. I don't know if I could do all of that with $1 million, because these days it feels like going to the store costs $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I would do. Now, I have a question for you, Broen.
Okay, I'm ready.
What is something you would never do again?
Oh, wow.
Or
Oh,
someone?
wow. Okay. Okay. I would never. That's so crazy because I really, really try to not live a life of regret. I try to not look back on things like, oh, I shouldn't have done that because I already did it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I would never do again. I was thinking of like a movie I would never watch again. I'm like, no, this can't be movie related.
Yeah, that's what
Can't
I was
be.
thinking. I was like, I wonder if it's like a movie.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's something in the back of my head that I've like chosen to forget.
You'll remember tonight when you're like asleep. You know what I mean?
I'll never. Okay. Let me say this. I would like to never talk to my ex again.
Do you have to?
No,
Oh. So,
I'm just saying.
okay.
Like that's something I'm like, you know what? I would love it if she could just be gone forever from my life.
Evaporate.
Like,
Fucking evaporate. Dude, I wish you could have. I wish you could see the train of thought, because I was like, wait. All right, he wishes he'd never had to talk to her again. So that means he has to talk to her. Why would he have to talk to his ex? And I was like, does Broen have a kid I don't know about? I was like, is he like co-parenting with this horrible person or something? And I was like, no, I'm sure he would have told me that.
no.
Anyway, so
I haven't even talked to her in over a year.
yeah.
I
Dude,
have
you know what's crazy?
zero reason to talk to her. I'm just saying, like, I dread the day that I look at my phone and see her name pop up.
Yeah, I'm pregnant.
And I hope
3 years later.
I hope that just I just hope that never happens again. I hope I
Yeah.
never see her name on my phone again.
So let's get personal, dude. It was funny. Is I really only have 2 exes. Like
I just have one.
Yeah. That one. I didn't know you just had one. I understand now.
Oh yeah. We broke up like right when we started this podcast.
Yeah, it was like the 3rd episode. You were like, "Hey, I don't think I'm gonna want to record today. I was like, why are you being a bitch? And you were like, well, yeah, told me. I was like, oh, okay, sorry. No, I'm just kidding. But
Well, and
yeah,
I remember I made it clear too. I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I'm not gonna record. I don't want to record today. I literally, my girlfriend and I just broke up, but I still want to do this with you. Like, I
yeah,
reassured you. I was like, I still want to do this with you.
yeah,
I need some time. We
yeah.
just broke up, like, don't think that I like don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is like one of the, I told you, I was like, this is one of the only things right now that's like getting me excited about life. So, like,
Yeah, no, and you told me that, and we were, I mean, it was very early on into our relationship, and I was like, I honestly kind of can't believe he told me that. And I was like, I like this guy; he's a cool guy. But yeah. So I essentially have like two like legitimate ex girlfriends, um, and they both have children now. So
oh, my ex is married.
already,
She got married like months ago, and we broke up. Or let me just say this:
it was like what, like November
we
2022.
broke up like a week before my 23rd birthday. So that's in October. We broke up
Oh,
October of 2022, and she was married before October of 2023.
holy shit. You know what? I try not to be judgmental about things like that because I'm like, love is love or whatever. But then I hear shit like that, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, and that's
Sounds
the
like a
crazy.
bad
And
idea.
here's the awesome thing about it is that this is not a guy that has been in her life for a long time. Like, this is a guy that she met just before we broke up.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? But if this were a movie and it were her movie, you're the bad guy. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
big time.
You're the bad guy. Isn't that so interesting? Like,
Well, and looking back on that relationship, I was so young. There's a lot of things in that relationship that I was just like, gosh, that relationship went way too long.
it
It went
happens.
way too long. I'm looking back, and of course I never cheated on her. I never laid a hand on her. But there's just things where I'm like, oh man, I being in this relationship that I'm in now, which is like, Roxanne is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm gonna marry that woman
Except
someday.
except for me. But yeah.
Right. It's my relationship with Roxanne is very different from my last relationship. It's a very different relationship. And yet there's still a lot of things that I look back on that relationship, because shit, that relationship lasted almost 4 years. That was almost 4 years of my life. I'm only 24, or I was 23 when we broke up.
Yeah.
You know, that's that's a big part of my life,
Hmm.
and I entered my adult years with this person. And I don't know. There's just a lot of things that I look at that relationship that, like, I know I'm gonna do differently with this relationship.
Yeah, and you
You
don't
know?
really, you see the things that went wrong a lot more once you're in a healthy relationship, and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is what this is supposed to be like, or whatever. But anyway,
There's even been some times where I'm talking to Roxanne about something super, like I'm like opening up to her, or like showing my vulnerable side to her, and then she is there for me. I wasn't used to that.
yeah, you're like, whoa,
Seriously, I had to take
okay,
a step back, and I was like, you're watching me cry, you're watching me break down, you're watching me feel defeated and hopeless,
yeah,
and you're the one still putting your hand out, like, come on, let's, like it's okay, I'm here for you, like, I'm not going anywhere, like, we're gonna do this, like, we are gonna do this together. This may be your problem, but we are gonna fix it. And I'm like, that this I'm not used to this. I don't know. It was two very different relationships.
I've got another one for you.
Okay.
Pancakes or waffles?
Fuck. Shit. It depends on how horny I am.
Pancakes or waffles is code for something different between us, I guess.
Code. Oh, yeah. Honestly, okay, I'll say this. The best waffles are miles better than the best pancakes. but it's easier to get better pancakes than better waffles. Does that make sense?
Interesting. I've never thought of it that way, but yeah, I think I agree. You
Like,
know, like, do you have Waffle House where you are?
mhm.
Yeah. Um, People shit on Waffle House, but like 2 o'clock in the morning, Waffle House bangs so hard.
You know what Waffle House is? Waffle House. And next time you go to Waffle House, think about this.
I won't. Well, I don't have any up here, so
Oh, okay. Well, Waffle House is just big Eggos.
yeah,
They taste exactly like Eggos. But here's
yeah.
the thing: who the fuck doesn't like Eggos? Like, who doesn't like Eggos? You know? Like, I told my dad that. Like, or my dad came and visited, and I was like, "Let's go get some Waffle House." And he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's
What?
basically just, well, you know, where he's from."
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're just basically giant Eggos. And he goes, "I like Eggos." And I'm like, "Exactly. Who doesn't like Eggos? Let's go get some big Eggos."
You know what's crazy is getting a steak from Waffle House. That is
Oh,
brave.
I don't
That's
know.
brave. I've never done it. I've
I don't
never,
know. The only
that's
meat from Waffle House I'd ever get is like bacon or sausage.
yeah, no, it's steak is like definitely like slices off the backs of ex-employees. You know what I mean? But anyway, we've talked about this for almost 20 minutes. So let's. Oh, you know what I thought about? We didn't clap. So editing this one's gonna be a fuck
That's all right.
fest, a
That's all
big
right.
old fuck fest.
Do you have any movie news?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, except for it's a bit of a bummer. Andy Muschietti might not be directing Brave and the Bold anymore.
I'm okay with that.
What? The Batman stuff in the Flash was so good.
Yeah, but I don't know. I want someone new.
That's
Like,
fair.
not like new to the industry. I just want someone that hasn't done a comic book movie.
Mm.
You know, like,
Oh, and we got the first look. I mean, not to interrupt you, I forget.
no, you're good.
The first look at the Superman
Logo.
logo from dude. And I'm in this Snyderverse Facebook group because I do like the Snyderverse, but I'm also very excited for this new universe because I'm
course.
a normal, healthy human being. And these people are fucking shit. They're using photoshopped images of David Cornsweet as Superman. They're like, look at this
Or
fucking
like AI images.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this F word. You know, this blah, blah, blah. Look at this idiot. You know, Snyder will Snyder restore the Snyderverse. I'm like, dude. You think David Zaslav and you think James Gunn is like in this Facebook group? Like they're not. They chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's done. It's sad that it's done, but it's done. Let it go. Let it die. Let's get something new.
Yeah. Well, Netflix said they might be interested, and Zack Snyder said that if anyone comes up to him saying, "Do you want to finish the Snyderverse?" he would jump.
Yeah, and I of course I'd watch. I'd just be, you know, I don't know. It would have to be a specific situation for me, because I've already emotionally let go of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the new Superman movie. Oh, and it's just called Superman.
It's
now,
just called Superman now. Yeah.
which I'm kind of stoked about. Superman Legacy. Like I wasn't upset about it, but I was like, it sounds like a sequel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm glad
Um,
that it's just called Superman.
yeah, and the cast is just getting better and better. I forgot his name, but we got a great actor as Perry White.
Yes, I
I
forgot.
forgot his name. But it's exciting.
And it is the Kingdom Come logo, but it's yellow instead of black.
Yeah, and people
It's
are
still
like,
red and
"Why are
yellow.
they doing Kingdom Come so fast?" It's like they might not be. Like it might just be the logo. Like
It's just I honestly just think it's the logo. I think it's James Gunn was looking at all the different Superman logo variations, and he was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do one we haven't seen before.
yeah, like
Well, I mean, we sort of did in the CW, but like,
yeah, it's I like it. I think it's and again, I'm waiting to see the full suit. I can't imagine it looking bad.
no.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's the
I'm
thing.
super
Like,
stoked.
I don't think James Gunn misses with comic book.
I don't think James Gunn really misses. I haven't seen a James Gunn movie I don't like.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a ton of his outside of comic book work, but what I've seen I do enjoy. Um, and and I was listening to the Geek Buddies, and
Nice.
they were talking about Fantastic Four. It's set in the 60s. How is it going to connect with the new stuff that's 50, 60, 70 years later, whatever.
Mhm.
And Shannon had a really good idea. Shannon McClung, for people that don't know.
Of
He was
course.
on an episode a few weeks ago, or not a few weeks ago, a few episodes ago. Go check that one out. He's a great guy. He had a good idea, saying, what if, if Galactus, let's say Galactus is the big bad, and
Right.
how are they going to get to the MCU and be part of this 2025, wherever we're at in the MCU
Right.
in
Right.
in terms of years. Maybe Galactus eats their universe at the end of the movie, and they end up in the MCU, and they're like warning them, this fucking guy's
Ooh.
coming. Yeah, yeah, like wouldn't that be so cool? Like great, like Galactus is the big bad in the movie. He ends up winning, and they end up escaping and end up in the MCU through the multiverse, and are like, he's coming.
I would like that because they would show how powerful Galactus is. Because I don't want, because like if Galactus is going to be the villain in this movie, which is fine, I don't want him to be watered down.
I also
You
don't want
know?
him to be wasted on one movie. They tend to
No,
do that in the
absolutely not.
MCU.
Yeah.
They did it with Killmonger. I mean, they essentially did it with Killmonger. He was in Black Panther 2, but not really. And so like Killmonger was one of my favorite MCU villains, and they wasted him in one movie. They wasted Ultron in one movie. So yeah, I hope they don't. I don't think they'd fumble Galactus that hard, to be honest. But at this point, I
You
don't know.
know what theory I kind of had? Which
Yeah,
I'm
what?
not, I don't even think, like, I actually think Shannon's idea is better.
Yeah.
But I always said, what if, because the thing about Fantastic Four in the comics is they are the first superhero team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they weren't the first superheroes, but they were the first team. And to have them be in like the MCU, which they've already said it's not going to be an origin story, which is good. But my idea was, what if they are from the 60s, like 50s or 60s, they go to space, like the space trip where they get their powers, but they
Mm-hmm.
go through like a wormhole and they come back to modern times,
That
and
would be
then
cool.
everyone sees them and is like, shit, that's where you went, like that's what happened to you guys
Oh my
so
god, that
many
would be
years ago.
crazy.
And then
Imagine like that's the last scene. It's like Captain America
yeah,
when that'd be so
like for
cool.
them it was instantaneous. You know,
Yeah.
they get their
Oh
powers, they go through a wormhole, and then they like come out, and then like, Falcon or Captain America now I guess comes up to them. It's like, oh shit, that's what happened to you guys. And then Reed
yeah.
Richards is like, who do you think you're talking to, boy?
Yeah. Yeah. Get out of here. You ever seen the memes of like Chris Evans or Captain America waking up to a black guy giving him orders and be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. It's fucked, but like
It's true. I mean,
it's if it were to be real, that's the sad part of our history. That's
but
the
there is a good moment in the Avengers when Captain America tips Nick Fury. And I think that's fucking hilarious.
I think you misunderstood that scene.
Oh wait, I haven't seen that movie in a
He
while.
doesn't. He doesn't tip him. He said, "Do you remember? Do you remember when Cap's first entrance when he's punching the bag,
Yeah.
and Cap and Nick Fury comes in to debrief him, and Cap says, like I don't think anything would surprise me anymore." And Nick says, $10 says you're wrong. And then the
Oh, that's
helicarrier
right.
goes up,
That's
and then he
right.
walks
That's
past
right.
him, gives him the $10.
That's right. You're right. And this is why I fucking hate TikTok. TikTok was like, look at this hidden detail in the Avengers, and I was like, I don't remember that scene. That's really
No, it's
funny.
it's the $10 says you're wrong. It's a
Fucking hate TikTok,
throwaway
dude.
line that has payoff.
You know what? Joss Whedon sucks, but he did a good job with that movie.
Joss Whedon does suck,
He's a bad
but
guy, but
he is a bad dude, and I hope he never works in the industry again. But he's a good writer.
yep, yep. And, I mean, he's not a bad director either.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of any other movie news. Oh, I mean, I think but we didn't talk about it on the podcast. Star Wars is getting a What If, which is awesome.
Oh, I need it to be Clone Wars animation. I don't want
I
it to be.
doubt it. I doubt it.
Why?
I don't think they'd do that. I don't know. I just don't think they would.
Do you
They
think they
might.
do live action?
No, I just think it'd be like a new type of animation.
I hope not. It should totally be Clone Wars animation. It should be Clone Wars format in the sense of rather than every episode being different, do arcs. Like the
Yeah.
Clone Wars show, do like 3 to 4 episode arcs
Yeah. Yeah.
where we get fully fleshed out stories.
And again, not merely movie news, but the creator, I think, of the '90s Spider-Man said he would be down to come back if they wanted to continue the '90s Spider-Man series like they are with X-Men.
I would love that,
Oh
but
my god, dude! I would
uh,
be more stoked about that than the X-Men show.
yes, I agree.
Um,
Me too.
I do
But
like the original X-Men show, but like Spider-Man was like my shit. Like that show's incredible.
I need spectacular over anything else
That's fair. I get it. I get it.
because that story wasn't really finished.
I don't know that because
So
I haven't finished it yet.
yeah,
So
it's so my quick movie news, which is
yeah, what is it?
again, it's a little old, so you probably already know this, but I'm gonna go a little bit more into detail about stuff that you may not know or may not have heard about.
Spider-Man.
We're getting Jurassic Park 7.
Yep.
When they first announced it, I just didn't care. I don't want to say I was disappointed because I wasn't really disappointed because I was just like I don't care because the last 2 sucked. Some might even say that the last 3 sucked, but I liked the first Jurassic World. I just didn't like the last 2.
I go ahead. Go ahead. I'll
No,
give my
you're good.
I was just gonna say I have faith in this one because I know that they're going with a smaller budget and they're going smaller, which I
And
think is a good idea
and
because the first one, while not a small film, is not anywhere near the size of the other ones. You
no,
know.
you're absolutely right. And that's what I'm leading into is that I was a little I just didn't I didn't care when they first announced it. But what piqued my interest was the writer of the original Jurassic Park screenplay is writing it.
Okay.
Obviously not Michael Crichton because he's dead, rest in peace. But the guy that wrote the screenplay for the first movie, he's writing it. Gareth Edwards is directing it. Gareth Edwards
That's right.
directed Rogue One and the 2014 Godzilla movie. And
That's
the
right.
creator, which I haven't seen yet, but
Oh
if
yeah,
there's
no, he'll and he knows how to work with the VFX
and he knows how to work with
because
size.
because he was a VFX artist before he was a director.
Yeah.
There were I don't think it would ever happen in a million years, but they were on the hot mic talking about before Gareth Edwards was announced. They were like,
Mhm.
who do you think? And I don't remember which one said it, but they were like Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele would do an awesome Jurassic Park horror movie.
He would do a great horror movie, yeah.
It'd be so good. And like the first Jurassic Park has some scary moments, and so I think
Sure.
it'd be super super cool at a smaller scale. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be really good. I think well, I don't know if I should say really good. It's gonna be I think better than the other 3.
I think so too. I think it'll be better. My expectations, which this is honestly not asking much.
Mm-hmm.
I just want it to be the best sequel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be better than the original.
No.
It's not. Because part of the thing that makes the original so good was that it was groundbreaking, technologically speaking.
Yeah.
We can't really break that ground anymore.
Yeah.
Like they did. Of course we can still do groundbreaking things. Look at Dune. Part 2, that movie, we haven't seen a movie that big in scale in years.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to stage movies, like movies filming on a soundstage on a green screen. The scale of Dune Part 2, which we'll dedicate an entire episode to that, so we don't want to go super into detail about Dune 2. The scale of that movie was fucking breathtaking.
Yeah. No, it absolutely was.
So I don't think that we can really do the technological advancements that we like, the achievements that we made in the 90s, the steps that we took. I don't think we can really make those same size steps now.
Yeah, of course not.
Because we're just used to it.
But it'd still be really good.
Yeah. And then the rumored title for a little bit, people were thrown around that it was going to be called Jurassic City, which I thought was a shitty title. It is not going to be called Jurassic City. I'll tell you that right now. I saw someone, I might be wrong, but I saw someone say from like a source, it is not going to be called Jurassic City. It was debunked. So
cool. Jurassic City's not it's not a very good name.
I don't know what.
Sounds like a show.
Yeah, I don't know what you would call it. Jurassic.
time. It's Jurassic time. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's Morbin time. Yeah.
it's Morbin time.
But oh my god. Oh,
What?
I just like I didn't know I could full size you. Cool.
What?
Anyway. So yeah, that's movie news. You know, not a ton. A lot of the stuff has been out for a few weeks, but we're getting back into it. So, with all of that said, we're giving. Let's just wait to talk about Dune 2 until next week. Let's not say anything.
Okay.
I was gonna say let's give our ratings. Let's just let them not know until next week.
Okay.
So the main attraction of this episode is going to be
The greatest movie openings ever. Like when you turn on a movie, and it immediately hooks you, immediately grabs you.
grabs you by the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just twists them around. Ah,
Crushes
just
them
crushes them, pops them.
like a gusher. Dude, speaking really quick, I'm gonna make fun of my girlfriend. She's not very religious, but she does Lent every year as a challenge for herself. And this year she gave up candy because she's like a candy fiend. Every night she eats candy.
Okay.
And I saw her eating gushers.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, wait, did I talk about this on the last episode?
No. But you put it on like your Instagram story. You were
Oh,
like,
yeah, okay,
Gushers
yeah.
candy.
Yeah, I said, babe, I think that's candy. She was like, no, it's not. It's fruit. They're called fruit gushers. I was like, I don't think that counts. And so
it's weird because it's like I don't know if I would say that fruit snacks are candy, but at the same time, what's the difference between fruit snacks and gummy bears?
And gushers have like little shit inside of them, and it's like essentially candy, right? And she was at work and somebody saw the gushers in the trash, and they were like, "Brianna, you're eating candy," and she was like, "What the fuck?" She was so mad that I was right. So yeah, baby, if you're listening, you're wrong. So on that note, women are always wrong. Let's just kidding. Let's talk about best opening scenes. We're gonna rank them, our top 10, 10 to 1. Right,
Yep.
we're gonna go that order. And I want you to go first.
Okay, I actually have. I wrote 10. You said you wrote 15 just to write 15. I do have 2 honorable mentions. So
All right.
do you want to do 5 honorable mentions or just do 2 honorable mentions?
Fuck it, I'll do 5. I'll just go through them really quick. So
Okay.
I'll you go first.
Okay. So my 2 honorable mentions are actually movie. It's a movie and a sequel, and it's It's A Quiet Place 1 and A Quiet Place Part 2.
Okay.
I think the opening scene of Quiet Place Part 2 of the flashback, day 1 of the aliens crashing down and like interrupting the baseball game, and then
Never seen it.
dude, I was so hooked in the theater. Like when, oh my gosh, it was so adrenaline pumping. Like I was so hooked when I saw that in the theater. The first one though.
Well, I have seen the first one. Remind me what the opening scene is. Is that when the kid gets fucked up?
Yeah.
Because of the toy? Oh yeah, that's a good opening
Now,
scene.
and I'm not just talking about that though. I'm not like that was a great ending to that scene to really tell you what this movie is.
Yeah.
But also think like obviously the trailers show what the movie is. The movie is called A Quiet Place. But if you were to go into this movie blind, and I did show this movie to my dad, I mean, like when it came out, I saw it in the theater, and then I bought it on Blu-ray, and then I took it to my dad's house and like, Dad, we got to watch this movie. Like, I think you'd really like it. And he knew nothing about it, so his reaction is what makes it, I think, a great opening. If you go into this movie completely blind, because they're walking around the store, they're tiptoeing around, they're being super quiet, they're using sign language rather than talking, and you're just like, why? What the fuck is happening? Why are they not talking? Why are they tiptoeing around? Why are they being so careful with this rocket ship toy and the batteries?
Yeah.
And then suddenly when the noise goes off and you just see this giant like stick bug looking thing grab the kid and then just title card. Whoa.
Yeah. Crazy.
Whoa.
Crazy
Yeah.
shit. Great choices. And I'm sure I'm kind of forgetting some, but I kind of threw this together fairly quickly just so I could have it for today.
Yeah.
But number 15 for me is Top Gun Maverick. I
Now,
think that
oh,
opening
that is a
scene is
great
awesome.
scene.
Because if I'm not mistaken, the beginning is him testing the new jet or whatever, trying to go to Mach 10 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Great, tense, looks great, stressful. It's funny. It's a lot.
And it immediately reminds you of Maverick's character.
Yeah, who this guy? Even if you haven't seen the first one, and
Yeah.
it tells
Yeah.
you this is who this guy is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a
14
great pick.
14 is the Goonies. Great
Oh,
opening
the
scene
car chase.
with the
Nice.
car chase and Chunk, because you're meeting all these kids while this car chase is going on.
Yeah.
Um,
Each character gets their introduction, and
and they're all perfect. They're
they're
all
all
so good.
great. Yep.
With Chunk and his milkshake, and he goes, "Oh shit,"
Yeah.
so
And then
good.
Mouth like watching the TV and then like turns it off and still hears it. Huh?
Yeah, yeah, dude, so good. I didn't. Quick thing. I rewatched the '90s Ninja Turtles movie the other day, the first one.
Hmm.
I didn't know that Corey Feldman was Donatello. He did the voice.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
I did know that. I think I found that out fairly recently, but yeah.
Great movie. Awesome
Oh.
movie.
Oh, it's awesome. It's classic.
13 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Because if I'm not mistaken, that is Star-Lord dancing to Come and Get Your Love, right?
It's technically the first opening scene of the movie is when his mom dies and he gets abducted,
Gotcha.
but I would count that. The Star-Lord dancing, I would count it.
Dude, I just thought of another great one. It's technically not the opening scene, but the opening swing scene to The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Oh my god.
Agreed.
Oh my god.
Agreed.
Technically not the opening scene.
It is the greatest Spider-Man swinging ever.
And it looks
Like,
better than anything else we've gotten, even to date. Which is sad.
like the ripples in his costume,
Oh my
like
god.
through the wind, and
Oh my god. It is
and I love
underappreciated.
the sound effects of the web shooters.
So
I
so
love
good.
it.
And you can tell he has fun being Spider-Man sometimes.
Yeah.
And he's gotten better at it through the course in between these two movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could talk about those movies for a while.
I would love to do a deep dive of,
yeah.
Of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 specifically.
Both of them. Fuck it. We
Both
could
of
do
them
like
for
a
sure,
Spider-Man series, honestly.
Yeah.
Number 12, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I have not. I haven't seen any of the Body Snatcher movies.
I will not. Oh, you would love the Jeff Goldblum one.
I know, that's what you keep telling me.
They're so up your alley. I won't talk about it then since you haven't seen it. And then number 11, which I'm sure is on your list, I don't want to know where. Is The Dark Knight.
It is on my list.
I thought it would be. It's a great opening scene. Barely broke the top 10 for me.
Okay.
Great opening scene though. Okay.
My number 10.
You're number 10.
Which will probably be on yours, and if it's not on yours, then you're gonna be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure I forgot some.
Those are the two options. You're either gonna have it on your list, or you're gonna be like, fuck, I forgot.
Okay.
Baby Driver.
It's on my list.
Okay. Great opening scene. You know, with him being like so monotone until the music hits.
Yeah.
You know, and then as soon as, they get back in the car and John Bernthal points forward and then he immediately reverses.
Perfect. But also it's not just epic. It gives you some insight to what this character is going to be, because when he sees the gun goes off, he goes like this. And he's like, and you see his demeanor change a little bit.
Yeah.
Because know he's not into that shit. He's not there for that. Oh my god. And then I mean the editing
too, the music,
cinematography, the shot that's most brilliant to me is when it's the 3 red cars.
I knew you were going to say that. Yes, absolutely.
Genius. Absolutely genius. I would have never thought of that. That is it's perfect. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to say on that opening scene?
No, it's I mean, I'm sure it's
great music choice as well.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it's higher on your list. So if we want to talk more about it, we can talk more about it when you get there.
My number 10, I'm sure it's on your list, is Scream.
It is. It
Okay,
is on my list.
let's not really talk about them till we get to the higher point. So
Okay.
we'll talk about Scream when we get to yours.
Okay.
But yeah, Scream is number 10 for me. I'm not the biggest fan of the movie.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
I give it a
love
7.
Scream.
Give it a 7. I might like it more the second time I see it. But yeah, great
It's like
opening.
a 9 for me. 4.5. Four
Yeah.
and a half out of 5. 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
On some days, I might put it at 10 or 5.
It I've only seen it once, and I've seen Scary Movie so many times that
Mhm.
I knew where everything was going. So like none of it was shocking to me. I've seen all of this done in a funny way, you know.
Yeah.
But now that I happens with me a lot. Now that when I see huge movies that I've never seen before, I'm sometimes let down because I'm like, that's the movie everybody's freaking the fuck out about. Then I
Mhm.
watch it again, I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So probably the second time I'll probably give it like an 8 or a 9.
Okay, so my number 9.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I do want to clarify that this in no way determines that this is like the order that I like these movies. We're just
Yeah.
talking about
No,
the
no, no, no,
opening
no.
scenes.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, because this is one of my favorite movies ever. It's my favorite horror movie ever. And me, just by saying that, for those of you that know my favorite horror movie and I've listened to the show, you already know. Parker probably already knows because I already just said it's my favorite horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's John Carpenter's The Thing. And it's
And remind me that because that's not on my list. That's the opening scene is the helicopter shooting the dog.
just chasing the dog and shooting at the dog. And you don't know why.
Yeah, you're like when I was first seeing it, I was like, what the fuck? Why are they doing that?
Yeah. No, you don't know why. Like at first it's like, damn dog, shoot up my loafers.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know? No, but like
And then you know,
and
it's
then
like
you
those
know.
who don't know, those who know meme with Mr. Incredible. You
Yeah.
know?
Yes. Yes. It goes along the lines of like when I was talking about if you're watching The Quiet Place blindly, like knowing
Mm,
nothing.
yeah,
It's if you go into the thing knowing nothing and you're just like, what? Why? But like you need to like you're instantly hooked. You're like, I have to know. I
yeah,
have to know.
yep,
You know? It was great. And then I think it also is a great introduction to the characters because the dog is chased to the American science base uh and the research station, and you're immediately introduced to these characters, and it's also fucking terrifying because the guy who's shooting at the dog gets out and starts talking to them in Norwegian. You don't know what he's saying, but like his intensity, his emotions actually like you're like it's so unsettling.
yeah.
And if you actually translate it, he says, "Get away from that thing. That's not a dog. Like that's some sort of thing imitating a dog. Get away from it, you idiots." Or it's
Wow,
like something like that. It's like
that's
oh,
awesome.
great opening scene. My favorite horror movie of all time. We're gonna do a deep dive on it soon. I really like I could talk about that movie forever.
That's awesome. I'm actually gonna swap because I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna swap my number 8, my number 9, and my number 8. So
You didn't
number
even
9
have
for
to say
me.
that. You could have just
Yeah, I could have. You're you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong about that. I don't know why I said that. Okay. This might be on your list.
Okay.
If it is, we'll talk about it later. But is Jaws?
I'm really surprised that Jaws is that low for you.
It's uh yeah, I don't know. It's incredible. It's iconic. It's scary. I just the other ones I just like more. I don't know if I'd say I like more, but
That's
like
so crazy. I seriously thought Jaws was going to be your number 1. Because I'm making my
oh,
list, and I'll tell you
interesting.
right now, Jaws is pretty fucking high up for me.
And honestly, this list could change daily. That's the kind
Sure.
of problem with these lists. But yeah,
Sure.
just
Yeah.
because like that. Honestly, it might be because it's a hard scene to watch.
It is. It
So it's
so
like
is.
it's kind of like I'd rather watch these other ones. You know what I mean?
I told you that I showed Roxanne Jaws for the first time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Did we talk about it last week on the episode?
I don't know if we were recording or not.
Okay. I'm going to
I
say it
don't
again.
remember. Yeah.
Just for the people listening, if I did say this already, you're going to listen to it again. If I didn't say this, welcome to my quick spiel of my girlfriend watching Jaws for the first time.
Isn't that a song? Welcome to my life. Isn't that a song?
I
All
I
right.
don't
Sorry.
know. So we're watching the opening scene, and I've seen this movie a million times. I know this movie like the back of my hand, and I am reacting to that scene more than she is. What?
You've seen Robots,
I
right?
knew you were gonna fucking say that. Oh, that's new. I almost
It's
said that. I
so,
almost said I know this movie
so
like the back of my hand. Oh, that's new.
bam, dude, so perfect. Oh my god, I love that movie. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, anyways, the opening scene of Chrissy getting dragged, which those reactions are pretty real because the machine that was moving her around was actually hurting her
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't cut, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm reacting to that scene more than she is. And I tell her, I'm like, Dad, I hate this scene because of how good it is. Because you don't see the shark.
Yeah.
You know, it's terrifying, you know, because it's just but she didn't get it, and then I explained it to her. I was like, or she didn't understand why I thought it was so scary, I should say. And I told her like it's scary because sharks exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this scenario is not impossible.
Yeah.
That's why it's so scary. Ugh.
Yeah. No, it's very scary. Um, Same with the Scream one, to be honest. I mean, these things could happen to you. You know,
Yeah.
that's why The Strangers is so scary. Like like because you were home. Like what the fuck? Like that's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 9 is Jaws. We'll talk about it more when we're on your
Okay.
list.
Number 8 for me is another brutal scene to watch. And it's it's not even really a scene. It's like a whole I mean it's not an act, but it's Saving Private Ryan,
Haven't seen it.
the D-Day,
Haven't seen it.
or Omaha. I think it was Omaha Beach.
Never seen it in my whole life. I'm gonna watch it soon though, so don't tell me anything.
The movie is phenomenal. It is emotional. The opening scene is rough.
Cool. Good to know.
It's
Don't want to know
rough,
anything else.
you know, because
Rough.
it's World War II is. I would probably say World War II is the most tragic thing that has ever happened to us.
Mm.
You know, as a world, you know, not just as a country. You know, obviously,
Mhm.
as if we're talking just as a country, you know, obviously, like you know, slavery is like the worst thing to have ever happened to this country. But like, you know, recent in modern times, you know, 9/11 was
Pretty
an
rough.
attack on the country that no one's ever going to forget.
Yeah.
But World War II, where they are sending 18-year-olds, you know,
Mhm.
these boys that are fresh out of high school, some of them not even finishing high school.
Mhm.
It's a brutal scene to watch, but
Did,
that's what makes it so good. And I
did
haven't seen it many times. I've probably only seen the movie twice,
Mhm.
but it's the opening scene is just
Did you see Zone of Interest?
mm-mm.
You might like that movie. It's about World
I'm
War
sure I
Two.
would.
It's World War Two.
I love historical World War II, World War One, World War II movies,
I'm
Vietnam
not
War.
so number 8 for me. I don't know. I could see it being on your list, but I also could see it not being on your list.
Okay.
Kind of not really random, and it's not really held to the same level that the other ones that we talk about are. But it's Spider-Man 2.
Hmm.
One of my favorite opening scenes
Oh, with the pizza.
with the pizza, and
Go!
whoa, and having to save the kids. Dude, have you seen the like Spider-Man 2.1 or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah. We've talked about it a lot. Yeah,
The go is different. He
it
just
is.
goes go, and I was like, that's not cool. That's not the same. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, no, I think it's a great scene because it really, I mean, it really sets you up for that entire movie, this struggle of being Spider-Man
Yeah.
and why, you know, being Spider-Man sounds so cool, but it actually kind of sucks, you know.
Hmm.
And I think that opening, it's funny, it still looks good, it's
And
action packed, it's awesome.
you know what's a small detail that is great is when he first gets to work, and Mr. Aziz is like, like, Boddicker, stop,
Oh,
you know.
any
And he tucks. He's like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Aziz, there was a disturbance." And you just see
yeah.
him tuck the mask in. That's all you need to know. That's all. That's all. We don't. We didn't have to open the movie to him doing
Yeah.
whatever it was that made him late.
That's cinema, baby.
Yeah, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's great. It's great. It's great. It's not on my list,
I didn't
but it
think
is great.
I didn't think it would be because it's not one that people think about a lot, but it is
I did consider putting it on.
mhm.
I put another Marvel movie. I have another Marvel movie on my list, which is next, actually.
Interesting. Oh, okay. What is it?
Infinity War.
I thought about putting that one on there. I did. And I was like, no. Because I assume you're talking about when like Loki gets fucked.
Just that whole scene of Thanos, like talking to Thor on his knees,
Yeah.
getting the space. So let me start from the beginning. I remember seeing Infinity War opening night, first
Mm-hmm.
showing,
Mm-hmm.
and when the Marvel logo came on, and there was no
Like
theme
fun
music,
music.
and all
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was the Asgardian distress call.
Yeah.
I immediately knew what we were in for. Which, don't get me wrong, I knew what we were in for as soon as I saw the first trailer. But when it comes to the tone of the movie and the introduction of Thanos, I know what it's like to lose, to
Yeah.
feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail nonetheless.
Yeah.
And he's like, it turns the legs to jelly. And then
Yeah.
in Endgame, when he
Yeah.
loses, he sits because turns the legs to jelly and he
Yeah.
sits. So that's great in Endgame, but the opening in Infinity War, you know,
Awesome.
it's
It's great.
great. It is
Gruesome.
my favorite MCU movie. Oh my gosh. And honestly, like, I knew it was my favorite MCU movie from that opening scene.
Yeah.
And Hulk coming in and you're like, "Yeah, Hulk." And then
And you're like,
Hulk
fuck.
immediately just gets his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then the following scene is also incredible. In New York. It
Honestly, just
incredible.
the scene just going up until the title card,
Yeah.
because that's straight out of the comics. The only difference in the comics is that it's Silver Surfer, it's not Bruce.
Yeah.
But he still crashes into the Sanctum Sanctorum. It's still Strange and Wong, and
Yeah.
Silver Surfer is like, "Thanos is coming."
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Great pick, Broen. My next is I don't know if you've seen this movie because we never really talked about it. I
Okay.
don't like the movie. I
Okay.
will say that. I do not like this movie. I don't think it's a good movie, but the opening scene is fucking sick.
Okay.
Ghost Ship.
I have not seen it, but you are not the first person to I've heard say that.
Dude, I want you to watch it like right now. But you should watch it after because like I don't think you should watch the entire fucking movie. Don't waste your time. But the
Okay.
opening scene is fucking insane. It is insane.
Okay.
And for it to be on my list at such a terrible movie it's crazy.
Yeah. It's funny because I have no idea what it is. I
Oh
have
my
zero
God.
clue what it is, and
Oh
so
my
I've heard
God.
people say that. I've heard
Dude.
people say like Ghost Ship is a shitty movie, but that opening scene.
Honestly, you should like watch it right now, and I'll just cut the 2 minutes out, and we get your reaction right now.
Do you
What
want
do
me
you
to?
think? Yeah, you should.
Okay.
Is
it on anything?
Just watch it on YouTube, like Ghost Ship opening scene.
Okay.
I need to remind myself. So we're like 54 minutes in. All right, 54 minutes. 54. Isn't that wild?
That was dumb. That was dumb.
Maybe because I was like younger when I first saw it, I was just like, "Holy shit!" I was not expecting that.
As soon as I saw The Wire, I knew.
I honestly don't remember exactly how it goes. But yeah, no, I just thought it was fucking crazy. That was dumb. What a waste of like 5 minutes. Well, here we are. Anyway,
Number 6.
number
Number 6 is definitely on your list. I'm going to be questioning you if it's not.
Okay.
And honestly, I am sort of questioning myself a little bit by having it this low. because it's probably your number one.
Mm,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
it is on my list.
I knew it was on your list.
Of course, it's on my list. It's. We'll talk about it later.
It's perfect.
What's perfect,
It's a
and
perfect intro to a perfect movie. You know,
we'll go into it once we hit it on my list.
Deal.
Number 6, I again could be on your list, but also like it's not necessarily like held up here, with these other ones.
Okay.
Number 6 for me is Back to the Future.
Really?
Yeah,
Like the amp?
Yeah, just the clocks. I
Yeah.
mean, I watched a documentary on the movie, and to do that shot was so incredibly difficult
Mm-hmm.
and took so long to do. And it's
Mm-hmm.
it's all about time, and there's foreshadowing with Doc on
Mm-hmm.
the fucking, what's it called, the tower, the clock tower. And so yeah, I just think I think it's incredible, with the dog food, and then the amp. Obviously, it's a perfect introduction to Marty, and honestly to Doc, because you're seeing where he works without even knowing who he is.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I think it's perfect.
Yeah. No, it is
Perfect
a great scene.
opening to a perfect movie.
I do agree. It is a great scene. It's not on my list, but it is great.
Nice.
Absolutely. It's a good one.
Number 5.
5 is The Dark Knight.
Thought so.
My favorite part about that scene is to think that Joker was standing on that block with full makeup. Because he doesn't have the mask on. Remember, he's just standing there, and the
Yeah.
camera's coming up behind him. I love to think that he's just standing there with full face of makeup in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Great
scene. It's a great
but
scene.
the fact that we don't see the Joker until the end of the scene, but the entire scene they're talking about the Joker.
Yeah, they're building him
like,
up.
oh, so why do they call him the Joker? It's like, oh, I heard he wears makeup to scare people.
Yeah.
And it's like,
aren't some of them, I haven't seen it in a minute, aren't some of them kind of like, oh, that's dumb, or kind of thing? Like, some of them are iffy on it.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happened to the other guy? Boss told me when I was done I should take him out. One less share, right? Funny, he told me something similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, great scene. And then of course building up to the Joker reveal.
Yeah.
When the guy takes out his little sawed off and he's like, you have any idea who you're stealing from? You and your friends are dead. And he's like, criminals in this town used to believe in things, honor, respect. What do you believe in? And then, I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Yeah, with the mask. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Crazy.
Or even like his man, it's with the Joker not saying a word. But and in the back of your head you're like, that's probably the Joker.
Yeah.
It tells you without telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And with the guy shooting him and shooting Joker, and then the last goon, and then the goon asks him like, oh, he's out, right? And he's like, yep, he's out. And then he shoots him one more time. Where'd you learn to count? And it's like, I'm betting scene. Yeah, I'm betting awesome. The Joker told you to kill me as soon as we loaded the cash. No, I kill the bus driver.
Yeah. What bus or whatever.
Like, what bus driver?
Yeah. It's awesome. It's really incredible. The
fact
writing,
that Batman's not even there.
Yeah, it's just smart. It's a really smart scene.
And it immediately tells you, like, it's also pivotal. It's like a very important scene. It's not just the introduction to Joker. It's the introduction to the plot, because the plot is the Joker taking over the crime family.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing he does? He steals their money.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
It's like, by the way, the suit wasn't cheap. You ought to know, you bought it.
Yeah. So yeah, number 5 for me, which I'm sure it's got to be on your list, is Jurassic Park.
It's not, actually.
Really?
I know. I almost did, but I was like, I think the opening scene to Jurassic Park is great, and it is perfect. I probably should have put it on an honorable mention.
It's scary.
But it is great. It is great. It's just not.
That's fair. No, I
these
get it.
scenes, yeah.
I get it. I get it. No, I mean, not much to say. I'm sure everyone that's listening has seen it. It's scary. It's a great opening to a great movie.
Hmm.
And it sets the tone. And yeah, nothing else to say.
No,
It's perfect.
it is great. It really is great because it immediately shows you the power and the brains of these raptors.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's
and the kind of not stupidity, but I don't really have a better word.
lack of
Uh,
awareness.
yeah, of humans,
Yeah.
and like they're it's just sh- shoot her or whatever he said.
Shooter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's great.
It's
It's a
great.
great movie. Great opening scene. What's your number 4?
Scream.
Ah, cool.
What's crazy about this scene is even though the movie is great, I mean, I love the movie. I love every minute of the movie. But because this scene is so good,
Mm.
technically the movie goes down from there. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and don't get me wrong, the ending reveal of Billy and Stu is, I would not change a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that opening scene with Casey, Drew Barrymore,
Oh,
is
just incredible.
it immediately tells you what the ride you're in,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And her performance is powerful, it is emotional. Her parents getting home and hearing her on the phone choking.
It's no, yeah, you're 100% right,
Yeah,
and it's iconic.
it is. It
Um,
absolutely is.
it's incredible. So yeah, that was.
One
Oh, go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
One little bit of that scene that, and I have to give props to Drew Barrymore for this. But one little, literally like a shot is when there's the doorbell goes off, and she's like, who's there? Who's there? And then she grabs the phone like, I'm calling the police, already in tears, and just with the phone ringing, and she screams just at the phone ringing. Our
Yep.
Drew Barrymore's performance in that movie is incredible.
Yeah,
I think
arguably the
she's the
best.
best part of the movie.
Yeah, the opening scene is the best part of the movie.
The opening scene is the best part of the movie. And I do love the rest of the movie, but like if we're just gonna be honest, like it goes down from there.
Yeah, and that's
And I'm
not a
not.
bad thing.
It's
It's
not a
just
bad thing. It
it
just
is what it is.
yeah, it's just you're starting the movie with the best scene of the movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100% agree. That was your number 4.
Yeah. So you're number 4.
Number 4 for me is The Social Network.
Ooh.
I think that, and I debated putting it on here, and it was like 10 for a second. And I was like, then I started thinking about it again. I was like, dude, that scene is so well written. It's so fast. It's hard to keep up with. You feel like you're with the I forget her name, but the girlfriend at the time, because
It's like Rooney Mara,
yeah, you're like
the
lost
actress. Yeah.
with what the fuck he's talking about. Like he's just going, 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 going. The writing, it's a long scene too, and I think they did like 111 takes or something like that, which is
Well,
fucking.
and this is the movie. This was a movie where David Fincher was like, "We are doing this movie to like we're filming it to a T when it comes to the script.
Yeah,
Like we're like
well, because the
every
script is so
line.
incredible. It's Aaron
Yeah,
Sorkin.
it was like every line of dialogue has to be said. Every pause has to be
Yeah,
given
yeah.
or taken.
Must be
Um,
exhausting being an actor for David Fincher.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's so quick. It's paced perfectly. It's cut perfectly. The performances are perfect. What they're talking about sets up so much of the movie, and you don't even know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, no, I just think it's perfect.
No, that's a great one. That's a great pick.
Top 3. We're in the top
Three.
3. I'm so interested to see what your top 3 are.
I don't know if you've seen my third one. You
Okay.
might have.
Okay.
I just don't know. But this scene is phenomenal, both in the tension,
Okay.
in the dialogue, in the performances. Everything about this scene is and it is Inglorious Bastards.
I haven't seen it. I do want to see it. I
Wow.
very, very I have not seen a lot of Tarantino movies.
There's only I haven't seen Death Proof, Jackie Brown, and Hateful Eight. Those are the only ones I have not seen.
Yeah. I from what I've seen, I'm not the hugest Tarantino guy, but I do remember enjoying Django. I just don't remember anything about it, so I want to watch
Django's
it
my
again.
favorite.
I want to watch it again.
I think you would like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Probably.
Um, but yeah, the opening scene to Inglourious Bastards, I won't go into detail because I think you should see it. Christoph Waltz's performance, though,
Mm-hmm. He is awesome.
is yes,
Even
yes.
even in the Green Hornet, he's awesome.
he's amazing in Django. You know, it's oh my gosh, just Christoph Waltz performance with Tarantino dialogue is a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's it really is just an incredibly intense scene and just an incredible scene in general. You know, because I can't say much because you haven't seen it, but
Yeah. Don't
man,
spoil it.
it's so good. Yeah, I'll tell you this. It is such a good scene that the first time I watched it, the scene, not even the movie, the first time I watched the scene was in my sophomore history class because we were talking about World War II, and my history teacher was like, I'm gonna show you a scene to a movie that takes place during World War II that is about a Nazi hunting Jewish people.
Yeah.
And it's a very real scene. It's a very intense scene, and oh my god,
Yeah. That good. It's on
just
my watch list.
wow,
It's on my
yeah.
watch list. Okay. You ready for my number 3? I don't think I think if it were on your list, you would have had it already. So I don't think it's on your list.
Okay.
And the anniversary of this movie that came out was yesterday.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
2022's The Batman.
Oh, it's not on my list, but it's
Thursday,
great.
October 31st.
It's
Oh my god!
we're not talking about the Riddler killing the mayor?
Oh, I forgot that's the I forgot that's the opening scene.
Because
Okay.
that's an incredible opening scene.
No, that is an incredible
too.
scene, but now that I remember that that's the actual opening scene, yeah, I'd probably take it off my list. but for the sake of this, I'll consider the opening monologue with Bruce the opening
Sure.
scene because it's
and him putting the makeup on and
oh,
and
God,
and
shot from behind of him walking in Gotham.
well, even yes, yeah, and as soon as the bat signal goes up and all of the criminals see it,
Yes, and they all look to the shadows and he's not even there.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
and
Oh
he's
my
like,
god!
they don't know where I am,
That's fucking Batman.
but like
Fred.
I'm everywhere.
If you're
I am
listening,
the shadows.
Fred, you idiot. God. Fred was talking shit about the Batman the other day during dinner. I was just like, fuck you. He's like, oh, Edward Cullen. I'm like, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's
People
like,
were pissed when Michael Keaton was cast. They were like, oh, Mr. Mom is going to be Batman.
Dude.
And then Michael Keaton fucks as Batman. I'm getting mad, dude.
I am gonna clock this right here as a clip. Hang on, hour 13.
Hour 13, baby.
Holy shit,
dude.
that was great.
What did I say was a good band name earlier? Oh, Butt Queen.
Were you recording?
I don't know.
Because I was recording. I wasn't recording on Zencaster though, so we gotta put it on the.
I don't know if I was. Dude, you know what's a great? I've always talked with my friends about starting a hardcore band named Mulch. I think that's badass.
Mulch.
Mulch, dude. All right. Anyway, what's number 2?
Jaws.
Oh, of course.
It
Jaws
is.
is my second favorite movie of all time. So makes sense. It's perfect. It's scary. I mean, we kind of said a lot about it earlier, but like, you know, just again, it's perfect. It's scary. It's iconic. And it brings you in immediately.
Jaws is the reason I don't fuck with the ocean.
Yeah. As many other people feel the same way.
Have I ever told you the story of when I was in Alabama at Orange Beach?
I don't know.
Okay, so real quick. It's a quick story. Very quick. My buddy and I were in Orange Beach, Alabama. His family took a vacation. I went with them. We had just graduated high school, so it was summer of 2018.
Mhm.
and we're in our hotel room, and from the balcony we could see that there was a sandbar not far from the shore. So
Okay.
the next day he was like, "Dude, let's go out and let's swim out and find the sandbar." Now we're both good swimmers. I was on the swim team in junior high, so we're both good swimmers. So we start paddling out there. We start swimming to find the sandbar, and I turn around and here's the thing. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, okay?
Mhm.
The beaches in the Pacific Northwest are cold. You do not go swimming
Yeah.
even in the summer.
Yeah.
So when I went to Orange Beach in Alabama, the water is warmer than pool water.
Yeah.
So of course I'm like, okay, I do want to go swimming a little bit. Never again. But we start swimming, and I look back and I see that we're probably like 100 feet from the shore, which really isn't that far
Mhm.
from the shore. You know, like 100 feet sounds like a lot, but 100 feet is really not that far.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I can't do this anymore. Like, we're not at the sandbar yet, but I'm like, I gotta go back. I gotta swim back. I can't do this anymore. And he starts laughing at me. He starts making fun of me. He's like, dude, we're not even that far out. And I'm like, yeah, well, neither was the kid in Jaws. So I am not risking this. I don't feel comfortable right now. I'm literally terrified right now. Like my heart is pounding. I'm getting anxiety. I can't. I gotta get out of the water.
That's funny.
So yeah.
Number 2 was Jaws for you. Number
Yeah, number two is
2 for
Jaws.
me is Baby Driver.
Ah,
Mm-mm-mm.
great.
Great, perfect. I mean,
Great scene.
we talked about it already, but it's just saucy
Yeah.
sauce. Got the sauce. And what's number 1 for you? What is it? I can't. I don't know what yours could be.
As soon as you told me let's do, because originally what my idea was I wanted to do, which I would still love to do this episode, but I would love to, my idea was a top 10 character entrances,
Mm-hmm.
top 10 character introductions. And then Parker said, why don't we just do top 10 movie opening scenes, movie introductions? And I was like, yeah, that's perfect. Like, that's easier. That's a great one. This was immediately my number one.
Oh, I think I might know it. Go ahead.
You guess.
Is it Ferris Bueller?
No.
Oh, okay,
Ferris
okay.
Bueller.
I don't know. It's a good character intro. I feel like the opening scene. All right, what is it? What is it?
It is the original Star Wars. A New Hope, or I'm just gonna say Star Wars because I'm talking about the original, the first one.
I'm blanking on the opening scene right now. What is like the opening scene?
So first of all, for this being the first movie,
Yeah.
the opening. Bum,
Yeah,
bum,
of course.
I mean, already, immediately right off the bat, you're like, this is immediate. This is nothing I've ever seen before.
Sure.
And then the title crawl, and then this is really what I'm talking about, though. Okay. Is the Rebellion cruiser flying away, and then the Star Destroyer goes like overhead, and it just keeps going and going and going and going, and you're just like, how fucking big is this ship?
So yeah,
because it's just, oh my gosh, it's just jaw dropping. Now, granted, I did not watch this movie when it came out. It did not have the impact it had on the people watching it. It didn't have the impact it had on my dad when my dad was 9 years old watching it in the theater for the first time. But that's why it is number one, because it had that impact.
Yeah.
And even though I may not have been there, I get it. I understand it, because I was fortunate enough to have a parent that did grow up with it, that was there, that vividly remembers how he felt. And what I'm telling you is what he was telling me, the fact that it just kept going and going, and my dad was sitting there like, fuck.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, and then, I mean, obviously also just the introduction to Darth Vader walking in.
Yeah. Okay.
And like his arms are on his hips, on his sides, and he just looks around, sees all the dead bodies, and just keeps walking.
Yeah.
It's, oh my gosh.
No,
Just
yeah, you're right. It's great.
immediately you're like, that's the villain.
Yeah.
And I don't want to fuck with him.
That's not a bad guy. Or that is a bad guy. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Do you remember what I haven't said that my number one is?
Is it on my list?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's Raiders.
it's Raiders. Yeah.
It's Raiders. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. The music, the cinematography,
You know you're in for a ride when the
oh,
Paramount logo becomes the mountain.
yes, dude, yes. And it is, you know, and it's not my favorite movie of all time. It's top 3, but the opening scene is perfect.
Absolutely.
It's so mysterious, and you're like, whoa, what is this? What is this movie? Like, what is this? Like, they're in the jungle, and who's this guy with the hat? And fucking Alfred Molina's in it,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And
And
you know,
then walking through the tomb and setting off the booby traps,
oh my god,
and then
and
of
then
course
oh, fucking,
I just listened to the Cinephiles do. Yeah.
oh, fuck, dude,
It's
that
it's it's great.
it's perfect. It is my favorite opening scene to a movie ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is, I don't know, it's the best way I could describe it is like movie magic. Like
You're
it's
absolutely right. That's
I
perfect.
I
That is
feel like I'm on a
perfect.
ride. Like I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm on the Raiders ride when I'm here. Like, oh my god, dude. And it's the music. The music is what really brings it all together. Same with Star Wars. And it really just perfect scene. It's at 90%, and the music's like John Williams is like, you know, hold my beer.
Yeah.
And like it's just it's
Yeah.
eerie. It's eerie. It's jungly. It's adventurous. It's, oh my god, dude. It's
I
perfect.
was so I had like I said I had just listened to the Cinephiles episode on Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Ugh.
and their episode was what gave me the idea to do the top 10 character entrances, because they talked about the entrance of Indiana Jones, of Indy. You know, he's there, but you don't see him, like, or you only see his back, you only see his shadow or like his silhouette,
Dude,
until
I like when you've played the Lego Indiana Jones game,
of
right?
course.
Like the opening when they like redo it and he like saves him from falling off. And he's like,
Yeah. But he's like reading the map the entire
yeah,
time.
he does walk like that. Great game. Top 10
Oh,
game.
it is
Great
it
fucking
is
game.
the third best Lego game
Oh,
behind Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga and Lego Batman, and then Lego
yeah,
Indiana Jones.
I think I agree with you. I think I agree with you. They're so good. Oh god. Anyway, back to
Yeah.
the fucking dude. Dude, oh my god. It's so good.
It
It's
is. It absolutely
and
is.
it's
It absolutely
spooky.
is.
It's spooky. It's eerie. You're like, what the fuck's gonna happen? And then fucking, oh my god! And then in fucking, he and Alfred Molina enter into fucking whatever you want to call it, the dungeon, whatever, fucking with the
Yeah.
tomb, and
With the idol,
oh my god, throw me the idol, you know, dude, like that
the whip.
entire
Throw
scene,
me the idol, then I'll give you the whip.
yeah, yeah, dude, the entire scene
And
is
he's like,
just,
"Adios, senor."
yeah, and then it cuts to the fucking with the thing sticking out of his head,
Yeah.
you know, oh my god,
And
so
of
fucking good.
course, the boulder.
Oh, iconic, one of the
Oh
most
my
iconic
gosh.
shots in the history of movies.
Yes. Yes.
Oh god, dude, and even in that first scene, they they really show you who Indiana Jones is, because you know they show his luck, and that he's not a badass all the time, and how he, you know, when he jumps and he's like almost slipping, and he grabs to like the vine or whatever, he's like, whew, and then
Yeah.
starts slipping. It's like he's unlucky.
He's not perfect.
He's not, and
And
it
that's
just,
what makes him relatable too.
yes, it's, oh god, I could talk about that movie forever. But yeah, that was I think we both have great lists.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this was a fun episode, and I am excited for next week's episode to talk about Dune Dos.
Oof.
Oh wait, how do you say Dune in Spanish? El Duno?
Oh boy. Is that it?
I don't I don't know. Uh hold on. translator app. Enter in English. Dune. Duna. Duna. Duna dos. Next week on the Flix Capacitor podcast, we discuss El Duna dos. And do we want to tell them? Well, we actually don't know if he wants to do it yet, so I guess we shouldn't say who we want to be on the episode. We haven't talked to him yet, but
we just like this is him finding out that he's
yeah,
gonna be
who the fuck. Yeah. Anyway, Broen, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Bro and the Movie Maker. Give me a follow. You can find me on TikTok, Bro and the Movie Maker, or just Broen. It's whatever. Give me a follow there. That's pretty much it. Those are really the only socials YouTube, I guess, Bro and the Movie Maker.
Yeah, subscribe.
You know what's stupid is I made a video. And it's the video that I showed you, and I was super excited to finish it and put it on YouTube, but then my computer started going haywire to the point where I literally had to wipe my computer, which caused me to lose the audio. I didn't mind re-editing the video, but now I don't have the audio because I recorded the audio on the computer. So now I'm like, fuck, I might have to re-record the whole video now.
That sucks.
It sucks because it was a great video.
Go subscribe to his YouTube channel
Bro
to wait for that video. Hit the notification button so you know when that video comes out. For me and the podcast, you can find me at Parker McNerney, McNerney on TikTok, Instagram, fucking Twitter, whatever. You can find the podcast on Instagram at the Flix Capacitor Pod. TikTok is FlixCap Podcast. YouTube is just the Flix Capacitor Podcast. Twitter is FlixCap Pod. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, rate, and share this podcast with your friends and family and on your socials to help more people find us. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week with a brand new episode of the Flix Capacitor Podcast.
Love you, bye!